Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to World at War Comics. This is Tommy, your host. My next guest is writer and creator, Mr. Jon Dexter. He has a Kickstarter with 3 hours left. You don't want to miss this. I'm going to bring him in right now. Mr. Jon, let's get you in here, my friend. How are you, Mr. Jon?
Good, real good. Even though the Kickstarter does technically end in 3 hours, Kickstarter has a new thing where you can get late pledges. So
Nice.
It's all good even if it's over with.
Oh, good. Well, hopefully we'll get someone to join right before it does end. But congratulations, man. At least your goal is hit. As you know, as a comic book creator, you still want to go above that because that's usually doesn't cover the cost of everything that you've done on your comic book. Not even close. Yeah.
No, it's definitely an expensive venture. So yeah, the more people that back it, the better it is for me to continue on. The cool thing is we're right now sitting at 116 backers, which is 16 more than Dime Store 3, which is always good. You always want to increase your backers. And if I can get 121, then I'll break my record, which was Alpha Dogs issue 4 last year. So it's doing really well. I'm really proud of it. The quality of work speaks for itself, and people are really enjoying the series. I think right now I'm about 57% of people who back 3 are backing 4. So that's anytime you get over the 50% threshold, that means you're doing something right.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. That's awesome, man. Yeah, you got 3 titles that you're kind of juggling at one time, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. I don't know if that was the smartest thing to do, but I just say I can't help myself. It's Alpha Dogs started it out. I launched that in 2021 on Kickstarter, and all of them have gotten backed, so that's all of them. I mean, have got funded, so that's great. And then I had my Space Cruizin, which technically is my first comic. I started that in 2009 and got just about finished in 2012. And then I ran out of money, so I kind of just sat there in the back burner for years. And thanks to the success of Alpha Dogs, I was able to fund the rest of it and then put that on Kickstarter. It did good. I mean, not as good as the other ones, but still, it's the first issue. It was in black and white. That probably might deter some people. Me, I don't mind black and white. Sometimes it adds to the atmosphere of the story. And but people that have read Space Cruizin have really loved it. So I'll be doing hopefully issue 2 in 2025. It's been kind of crazy. I got a publisher, which was awesome. I've been signed by Source Point Press. So if anybody wants to either you go to the Kickstarter right now and get the trade paperback of Alpha Dogs Volume 1, or if you go to Simon & Schuster, Barnes & Noble, you can pre-order it, and it's going to be released January 14th. So it's really exciting, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that is very exciting, Jon. Congratulations, man. It's
Thank you.
Always pretty awesome. You can get picked up by a publisher, and Source Point's been around for a while, and they are definitely one of the good ones when it comes to indie comics. So what a great blend between your storytelling, and a great publisher.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I've wanted to work with them for a number of years. They're from Michigan. I'm from Michigan. They're like 45 minutes away from me. I just always felt like a connection. I guess I'm just a homer for Michigan, but so it's what I really wanted, and the fact that I was able to get signed, and mine will be the first title released with their. Now, I don't want to call it a relaunch, but they've strictly went to graphic novels. So mine will be the first title out of the gate for 2025. So it's really exciting that they have that much faith in me, and hopefully I can deliver.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll be fine, man. What do you had 4 issues or 5 issues with Alpha Dogs that you've already done?
4 issues of Alpha Dogs out currently. The graphic novel collects all 4. Plus, there's a bonus story that you can only get in the graphic novel to kind of entice people that had bought the floppies to come on over. So people have really enjoyed it. Alpha Dogs has been kind of my flagship, I guess you could say, so far. But Dime Store Detective has been gaining more and more popularity as each Kickstarter goes.
Well, that's awesome, man. Well, congratulations on that. That's pretty exciting. Now we got Dime Store Detective, right? And you have issue, is it 5?
Issue 4 is out.
4,
So issues 1 through 4, you can get you can get them all in digital for only $19, all 4 issues, or you can get the Kickstarter with the actual comic books for I think it's like. I can't remember what it is right now. I think it's like 35 or something. I don't remember what it is, but
well, let's take a look at it since we're together, Jon. I mean, we got it up right here. So a little over 2 hours ago. It was 3 just a few minutes ago. So I'm assuming it's
Yeah,
like 2 hours and a bunch of change. But
yeah.
man,
The
now's
end
the
of
opportunity
7.
to jump on this. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean the trailer's great. I mean, I always tell people if you don't want to, if you watch the trailer and can't get excited for it, then I'm kind of out of ideas because the trailer is phenomenal. All of the trailers for my comics are. I got a great team that puts it together. I write the script, but they do all the magic.
That's incredible, man. Well, let's take a look at it real quick. And can you give us kind of a elevator pitch of what people will get out of Dime Store who haven't started this series yet by you?
Yeah, so if you like supernatural stories, if you like crime mystery, if you like true crime, um, say like Dime Store Detective is kind of like True Detective meets Stephen King's It. You got some supernatural in there. You got a lot of cool genres. The old Gumshoe Detective from the 40s. If you enjoy those type of stories and you love Dime Store Detective, it goes from the past to the present 40 years. So whenever we're in the present, the comic is in color when the detective is on the hunt for a serial killer. Then whenever we're in black and white, it's when we flash back 40 years ago when the detective is 8 years old, raised by moonshiners, embroiled in this turf war. And at the center of the story is this evil entity that back in 1981, the moonshiners, the detective's father and uncle, are in the Appalachian Mountains, and they come into this cave that's been kind of boarded up. And inside this cave is this evil entity that they inadvertently released that's been trapped for hundreds of years by the Cherokee. And this evil entity somehow returns after 40 years with these call signs that somehow are connected to this serial killer that the detective is investigating. So we get a lot of the back and forth, but like I said, it's in black and white and color, so it's easy to distinguish. It's got a cool noir feel to it,
Yeah.
to the story. So people will really have enjoyed so far that the element of hard boiled mystery, the detective, but then that evil entity, that supernatural element to it.
Yeah, yeah. No, the art looks incredible on it. I did get a little quick snapshot that you shared with me earlier. It looks absolutely beautiful. I'll be jumping
Yeah.
on this right away after this because it looks incredible. Check out the artwork right here. Can you talk to us a little bit about your team that worked with you on the art and everything else that went into this title?
Yeah, I've been, I always say there's no such thing as luck. It's preparation meets, hard work. But I actually was really lucky. I just did a cold call on Kickstarter. I mean, on Facebook, writers looking for artists. Stone Tower Studio answered the call, and their art just blew me away. Alfredo Ritmir does the art for work for this. Lucas Oroto does the coloring. He's magnificent. And the great thing about the colorist that I have is he gives that kind of gritty look to it throughout the color, and that really adds to the atmosphere of the story we're telling. It's great. And here you see a moonshine bottle was left in the mouth of this deceased woman that's left in the Appalachian Mountains in this pose by the serial killer, the third victim, and it connects to his family back when they were rum runners, when they were moonshiners. And so we've got a really cool connection. And like I said, it's a real fun mystery, and we all love mysteries, right? In this one, you're not going to be able to, I think, hopefully not see it, figure it out until the very end. So like I said, people have really loved it. And it's not just me. You can go to YouTube, type in Dime Store Detective Review. You can go to my social media and see all the, third party actual reviewers, not my buddies that have done reviews on it. And they've just really gushed over it. So I'm really proud of it. And if Alpha Dogs, the trade paperback that's published right now, is a success, then Dime Store Detective will be published as well. And it'll be in bookstores in the graphic novel form. But all of my copies that I have for the comic, they're all first edition. So who knows? Hopefully, it really blows up, and people that have been generous enough to back me and support me, those comics hopefully be worth a couple bucks, in the future. We'll see.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah. So far, I got Space Cruising, and that was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed that title. Can't wait for more of that. But Alpha Dogs is something I'm going to have to jump on. It sounds like that is the one that kind of sparked everything for you, Jon.
Yeah,
And
it
for
did.
those people that are just kind of joining now, man, Jon just shared that he has been signed by Source Point Press out of Michigan, which is super exciting. They're picking up Alpha Dogs because it sounds like they're going to more graphic novels moving forward.
Yeah.
Because I know I do have quite a few comics of theirs in floppy form. So they've kind of changed their business model, which kind of aligns really with the rest of the world. I think Canada and the US are still doing the floppy thing. So that makes a lot of sense. But that's huge for an independent creator to get picked up by a publisher. And now you got 4 issues of Dime Store Detective. Can you give us a little bit of how much more Dime Store you kind of have in store? And does this 4th issue kind of end an arc, or is there more issues that are going to kind of, tell the first portion of this story?
Yeah, so Dime Store Detective is already written. It's 8 issues in all, which I still haven't decided how I'm going to do that last issue because it's 35 pages. And so that gets very pricey. The price of paper is very expensive. But yeah, I wrote it all. Dime Store Detective the whole thing's been written out a few years ago, about 6 months, 8 months before the first issue came on Kickstarter. I plan everything out well in advance, and because the story's got to flow, it's not something that you want to make up as you're on the fly. So it is actually all written out. The first 8 issues were all written out in the span of a month, because what I do is I go months and months and have notes, and I wait till my brain's going to explode with the creation of it. And then it's just a mad dash of writing. And I was writing an issue. I would go into work, like all of us have to have a day job. I would go into work, write issue 1, the next day edit, the next day write issue 2. So in a span of a month, all the issues are written. Now, granted, there's tweaks along the way, like anything, but yeah, it's all been written out. It's all ready to go, and there'll be 8 issues. So this is a halfway point, and we've got a really cool. I love leaving on cliffhangers. It's just something I do. I think it's great because I don't know if anybody watched, but ever since I was a kid, I would watch Fat Albert. And I don't know if you ever watched Fat Albert. You know how they had the Black Hornet. The Black Hornet would always end with this cool clip. And I just thought that was so amazing. It just stuck ever since I was 5. Because I've been writing since I was a kid. It's all I ever wanted to do. So I love to end all mine with a cliffhanger. Of course, you want people to come back for the next issue. So this has got a really great cliffhanger that people are going to be shocked and going to enjoy it, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. That sounds pretty awesome. So how quickly are you putting out? It seems like you're extremely busy with 3 different titles that you're kind of juggling, which we spoke about earlier. But it sounds like Alpha Dogs. Is there more to that as well, even though it's been picked up? Do you have like an 8 story arc of that as well, or is there more for that one?
Yeah, so the first 4 issues, why I did the first 4 as a graphic novel, because the first 4 issues complete the first arc. And the complete arc goes to 10 issues. That's going to be like the full storyline for that volume, I guess you could say. That'll be 10. And then there's going to be more. I mean, when it's all said and done, if everything works out, knock on wood, say a prayer, Alpha Dogs is going to be about 50 issues when it's all said and done. So like I said, I've been writing for long. Alpha Dogs was written many, many years ago. And I was going to launch issue 5 in October, but because, thank God, I got a publisher, which is really cool, I'm going to be spending the rest of the year getting Alpha Dogs into bookstores, into comic book stores, and it's creator owned, which is great, but it puts a lot of work on you, of course, but it doesn't matter to me, because to me, it's more important to own your story, your IP, than anything else. Because I'll never forget, many, many years ago, I went to a Comic-Con, and the creator of the original Green Lantern was there, very old, trying to get people to get his autograph. And I thought and then some other people like Len Wein had to do crowdfunders. And the man that created Wolverine, had to get first medical bills. And I just thought that is so wrong that the big two basically, own everything that you put out there. So I was determined not to, if I ever, make it big, who knows, that I'm gonna, and even if I didn't, I want to own what I create. So to me, that's more important than a few extra bucks.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I don't know if you follow G.I. Joe.
Yes, I heard all about that. Yeah.
Larry Hama is a legend in the industry. Yeah, he's just so amazing. And he's been very vocal on his struggles. And, I I don't know how old you are, John, but I'll be 50 next year. And I grew up with GI Joe. I owned them as a kid. Watched the movies. Watched the
I'll be 50 next year too. So yeah, I'm
yeah.
gonna see
So
where you are.
yeah, how big GI Joe was when it came out
Oh
when we were
yeah.
kids, and then when
Mhm.
the comics came out and Larry was put on that title, he I think was a big part of my upbringing and to this
Mhm.
day. And it wasn't really until Skybound took it over that, and this is his words, that he's been treated like a king ever since. So a
That's
little
great.
late. I think he's 80 something years old, but yeah, like you said, you never like to hear those stories of these folks that have created these IPs where these giant companies are making millions of dollars off of them and they don't get anything out of it. So very smart. I think a lot of actually creators that have worked at the big two, you notice there's been a lot of, I call it brain drain. In IT, they call it brain drain when you lose a lot of talent out of the IT
Yes.
industry to other industries. I think they've lost a lot of talent to the indie space because so many creators have seen the value in owning their IP, and they're kind of saving their best creations for their own work as opposed to just handing it off to a major publisher. And I certainly don't want to pick on the top two. I think a lot of publishers have done that in the past.
Yeah.
But I think tides are changing. Obviously, we're kind of in the golden age, I believe, of independent. It's almost like overcrowded, right? There's just a lot of people creating comics.
Yeah.
From a fan's perspective, it's awesome, right? Because I'm getting some of the best, I think, storytelling that we've had in a very long time. But as a comic book creator, you're like, wow, man, it's to get your voice heard over the other thousands of people creating comics. It's a great thing for the comic industry, but it's hard as a comic creator. So I think you're doing all the
Yeah.
right things, man. That's awesome, John.
Yeah, I'm trying to, and yeah, it's Kickstarter has been great. Many like myself included probably would have never got published without them. So I hear a lot of people complain about big names getting into Kickstarter, but really, it's a free market and everybody has their choice to do what they want. It's just you gotta put the work in to
Yeah.
get your name out there, get yourself an email list, and go out to cons. And I've been hitting those pretty hard. I just got back from a really good con in Detroit, and I'll be at Motor City Comic Con in November, and hopefully another one before the year is out. I'm waiting to hear back. So, and then I'll be in Toledo in March. So yeah, you got to put the work in. It's like anything. If you want your dream to come true, you got to work at it. No one's gonna hand you over the golden keys. So, and you got to be good. You got to really believe in what you're doing. And with my titles, Alpha Dogs, and Dinosaur Detective, and now Space Cruising, I think people have seen the quality and are coming back. I've been blessed with great artists, and I've been doing this writing since I was a kid. So. It's the hard work's slowly starting to pay off, which is great.
Yeah, congratulations. Well, let's walk through a little bit more of your
Yeah,
Kickstarter here. You could see, like you said, some of the interiors. This obviously is a flashback of 40 years since it's in black and white right here, like you were saying. Here's some of the
yeah,
covers. If you kind of want to
yeah.
walk
This
through your
cover
covers, I think that would be great.
yeah, I mean, this is a phenomenal cover. I come up with the ideas, and they always go above and beyond what I come up with. So I wanted this is the dead woman from the beginning of issue 1. You come in and it's like boom, there's this body hanging strung up in the tree, and then you have the detective Mackinder and his assistant. And the 73 Barracuda, which is kind of a character in the story. I wanted the car to kind of be like the A-Team's van or the Supernatural car or a character. So this car, 73 Barracuda, what as anybody knows that's how NASCAR started, was moonshiners outrunning the cops. So this is their car to outrun the cops, and then it gets passed down to the detective. So he drives that in the present. So my dad, he was a big Barracuda head. He designed them, he refurbished them and had them. So that's why it's a very sentimental to me, the burnt orange Barracuda. But yeah, it's a great cover by Fernando Malik.
Yeah, 100%. Beautiful cover. Obviously,
Yeah.
incredible car. Wish I actually owned one of those. There we
Yeah.
go. Yeah,
And then
you'll
we
be sitting
got
on a
the
little bit
Femme
of cash, right?
Fatale. Yeah, we got the Femme Fatale cover. And all these covers are very different, very distinct. That's why I think people are going to have a tough time deciding which ones they like, because this is a great one. I wanted her, she's laid on the car, and your mall, and the coloring for the car is just dynamic.
Look at the lights, the the
Yeah,
shining from
it's
the.
that.
I mean, that's incredible, man.
Yeah, it's
Incredible.
beautiful cover.
Yeah, beautiful. And then I like this one. Gives you an old
Yeah.
school horror feel to it.
Yeah, Jeffrey Hayes did that. He's a very respected artist. He does a lot of the pulp. I seen it at a show last year, and I thought, oh my gosh, this guy would be perfect for Dime Store Detective. So you got the the detective with the trench coat and with a 1950s B movie poster behind him. It just really sets it off, and that's the evil entity and his uncle who he ends up possessing in the story.
Yeah, incredible, man. Yeah, beautiful
Yeah,
covers for sure. Then we get into some of
yeah,
the
it's the best covers.
rewards. Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more, John. I mean,
Yeah,
they're beautiful.
yeah, it's definitely the best Dime Store covers lot that I've had done. But yeah, so you can get the digital for only $5, which is it's 24-page comic. It's a good deal. And then if somebody wants to just get issue one, there's issue one. It's the variant cover because I'm running out of the regular cover. So there's the variant cover for that one. And then we have so that's 12. You get $12 only for the actual comic of issue 4, and a lot of people are charging $15. I've tried to keep it as cheap as humanly possible because the price of paper has just skyrocketed. So I think it's a really good deal. Plus, you get the digital version as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
And there's issue 2, another great cover.
issues.
Yeah. Once you can get them all in there as well. And issue 3, another incredible cover. It's my son's favorite cover, actually. You've got the cave with the hieroglyphics of the evil entity that's a warning to these guys. And of course, they're guys in their 20s, so they ignore it and carry on to the anti-chamber where they release the evil entity.
Yeah. And then you get, like you said, all the other covers too as part of the.
Just a few bucks more. And if you want the special edition, which is only $2 more, I signed the comic and your name is on the thank you page. So it's only a few bucks more for a lot of people like them signed. A lot of people charge like $25 to have them signed, but mine's only $2 more, and you get your name on the thank you page. Your name's in the comic, and I sign it as well.
Yeah, awesome, man. Yeah, and then I believe here it is right here. So all 4 the digital pack. Yep.
Yeah, and 2 of the comics are 26 pages, so you're getting a lot of bang for your buck.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it's only 35
covers.
3 covers. Yeah,
that's awesome, man. And then for those of us, those of us who haven't jumped in yet, man, this is a great opportunity, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're great covers. It's a great story, to be quite honest. And you're not going to find another one like it on the shelf. I always try to pride myself, and if I'm going to go in and put the money in, put the time and effort, I'm going to write something that hopefully nobody's seen before. And I think I know you read Space Cruisin'. I mean, I don't think you're going to see another comic book like it on the shelf. Very original, very different than this, but still a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool, man. And this is, what is the difference between these two?
I signed those ones. Yeah. For just a few bucks. I think it's like $5 more. Then I sign them all, and for $5 more, I sign them all, and your name's on the thank you page. So a lot of people like them signed. I think it's cool too. So, and you get the digital with them too.
Absolutely, yeah. Very cool, man.
And then this is every cover of Dime Store Detective, and this will be this is the one that you can get every comic I've done. So for $90, you get the trade paperback of Alpha Dogs, which is the first 4 issue plus a bonus story. You get Space Cruisin' issue 1, and then you get all 4. So everything I've done, you can be able to get your hands on. And like I said, they're fun comics. People really have enjoyed them.
Yeah, awesome, man.
And then this one will be the last time I can do it. So this is the mega bundle. This is every cover of Dime Store Detective. And I'm not going to be able to offer because some of the variants for issue 2, I'm just about out. I'll have to actually go into my personal stash to fulfill some of these because I was getting so low from the cons. But that's every cover. And all the covers, as you can see, are really cool.
Yeah, they're beautiful. Beautiful. And they got some original artwork in here.
Yeah, so issue 1 was all hand drawn, and half of issue 2 was hand drawn, and the rest was all digital. So I'm only having 5 of these because, of course, you want to keep your. This is the only original work I have, so I'm offering just 5 pages of issue 2, and I won't be able to do too many more of that because you want to keep your work, but I gotta raise the funds to get this thing going. So
Yeah, incredible. Beautiful, Jon. I mean, a lot of opportunities.
yeah, and we already
We got
got past the first
goals.
stretch goal, the higher paper quality stock. So yeah, it'll be able to be on the regular weight paper. We'll have to do the comics nowadays. You get are like toilet paper, yeah, at the store. So this is the higher quality pages.
Yeah. So there's
And then
still got a couple hours, man, to unlock a couple
yeah,
of these other ones too.
yeah, yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, there's a variant print. Virgin variant print on there. If we reach the 4,000, she's the all black dress instead of the red one, and we'll see what happens. But
Yeah, beautiful, man, beautiful.
yeah,
Here comes some interior work.
yeah. So this is obviously this is 1981 because we're in black and white. They try to
Yeah,
run the father and his son off the road, and so there's a lot of drama there.
yeah,
And this is when we go to the present. So we're in color, and he's got a little box of his father's things, the cross necklace, which kind of tells you he might be into having to battle more than just somebody with guns. He might need some higher power help on this one. And then you have the Catholic playing the Catholic card with Archangel Michael with a flaming sword, and the story really is about this father and son, and the son's devotion to his dad. And even though the town has labeled him a murderer, a moonshiner, he never gives up on his faith in his father and his belief his dad is a good person. So in this one, you have the father holding his son when he's 8 years old, the picture's looking at, and then his dad being in prison for 8 life sentences.
wow, beautiful.
Oh,
And here you are, your last con.
yeah, it's one of my cons. I got really beautiful stand-ups here, so
Yeah.
it deters from the ugly guy holding the comics.
Very cool, man.
Yeah, and there's
Very
the team.
cool.
Stone Towers to you work all the magic.
Yeah, and that's what it all comes down to, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
The art gets him in the door, and the writing keeps him there. So
exactly. Yeah,
I want to make sure I have great artists, and I've been lucky enough to get those. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens with the Kickstarter. We still got 2.5 hours left, but even as I said, even if it's over with, they still I think it was just like 6 months ago they started doing the late pledges. So
yeah. I didn't even know that. That's pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess it takes a little
Yes.
bit of the stress off. I don't know if it takes all of it off. Yeah, it's still crowdfunding still will
Yeah.
make you gray, man. It'll make you gray for sure.
Oh, it does. It does. It's a tough gig. I mean, you got to be in there for the long haul. And yeah, it was very stressful waiting to get funded. It took a little while, but once it did, it really kind of took off. And like I said, I've got 16 more backers in issue 1, and issue 3, and then so every Kickstarter I launch with Dexter Detective, I'm gaining more and more backers. So people have been enjoying it. Over 50% have come back, and like I said, you don't have to take my word for it. There's reviews. I post reviews on my social media. If you type in, go to YouTube, you can find them. And spoiler, they're good reviews. people like it. I wouldn't say if they were bad. So
Yeah.
well,
That's
only
awesome,
about 2% of comic book writers actually get published. So you got to know what you're doing. You got to put the work in. So I've been thankful enough that it's starting to get some recognition now with a publisher. Hopefully, it's like a Wi-Fi signal to my work and get my name out there more.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, Jon, I mean, congratulations. At least you've hit your goal. Again, there's a little over 2 hours to go, although you'll still be able to get in there. But yeah, we're, what is it, about 700, a little less than $700 away from the next goal being unlocked. And there's plenty of time to reach that. You're at 117 backers. So Hey, you never
Yeah.
know what happens, man. You might hit that 121 in the next 2 hours. So
Oh,
that would be awesome.
that would be awesome. We'll see. I mean, I'm happy how it's done. It's done better than what I expected, because you really, you have no idea when you're putting out. There's a lot of competition on Kickstarter, so the fact that it's been
Yeah.
able to gain backers is really cool.
That's awesome, man. Well, I can't say congratulations enough, Jon. It's great
Thank
having you
you.
back on the podcast. You're always welcome here. I know we got our times a little mixed up. I apologize. I've been traveling a lot, but I was glad that we finally
Yeah,
got you back on,
yeah,
and can't wait for your next crowdfunding, or if you just want to come on and talk comics, man. I always enjoy talking with you.
yeah. Appreciate. Yeah, we'll definitely have to do it again soon.
Yeah, yeah. Well, till next time, Jon, man, appreciate it. I'll make sure after we're done, I'll put the link below to make it super easy for people to head over to Kickstarter. If you're watching this, head over to Kickstarter. Back Jon, amazing writer, has 3 incredible titles. Dime Store Detective is definitely, looks like it's one of those bangers that are going to be doing very well for a very long time. So yeah, congratulations, Jon. Really appreciate you spending some time with me, man. And yeah. Everybody back Dime Store Detective.
Yes, definitely. Well, thank you for having me on. I appreciate you carving out some of the time in your busy schedule to give it one last show before we shut this down.
Yeah. No problem, man. No problem, man. Appreciate you, Jon.
Thank you.
Yeah. They got Will jumping on. Will says, "Hail nerds." What's up, Will? Always enjoy him, man. I've been on his show quite a few times. So a good friend. Hopefully you got your Todd McFarlane book, my friend, that I mailed to him. I had a contest and I had an extra autographed Todd McFarlane book. So we were trying to reach goals on YouTube when we hit it. So gave that away, and it was a lot of fun, man. Always enjoy doing that kind of stuff.
Someone told me, who was the one that told me about that? Another guy that does a show, I can't recall, but yeah, he was telling me. I was like, oh my god, that's so awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we hit 5,000 now, which I'm ecstatic for, and so now I got a few more autograph stuff. I got Conan the Barbarian that's signed by
Nice.
Dan Pasane and Jim Zub, so I might do that one for 6,000. We'll see. That's my favorite comic right now. Conan has just been incredible this year. So,
yeah.
But I got a lot of stuff signed by both of them, so I could definitely give up one. I don't need that many things signed. So I got spoiled at San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Well, right on, Jon. So I guess the next time people could see you is in Detroit. You said that's the next one that you're going to, or the one you just finished going to?
The one I'm going to, the Motor City Comic Con. I think it's November 5th through the 7th. So if you're in the Detroit area, Michigan area, I'm also in some comic book stores in Michigan too. So hopefully a lot more here in January once the graphic novel is released.
Yeah. So before we go, just once again, man, yes, Will said, "Send me Conan next." This guy wins everything too, man.
Nice. Congrats.
Yeah. He's a great guy, man. Good friend. But yeah, man, if you're in the Detroit area and you're hitting Motor City, make sure you hit up Jon. Also, I'll put all your socials down here. You should be following Jon to get all your updates. I think you post a lot of your updates right on your Instagram and some of your other socials. So I'll make sure I put those down below. But Jon, thanks for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you. But yeah, have a great rest of your week, my friend.
Thank you. You too. I appreciate it.
All right. Take it easy, man.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, thanks everybody for hanging out with me. Really appreciate it. As you know, we got the Kickstarter from Jon. Head over there right now and back it. You got a little over 2 hours still to make that happen. And then also, if you're not aware, on Zoop right now, we have Kingsville issue number 3. So get over there on zoop.gg and back Kingsville. We just started our campaign. So while you're helping out Jon, man, jump over to Zoop and help me out as well. That would be awesome to have you. But again, thank you for joining me today. Last minute, we were able to get Jon on, which is always exciting. I always enjoy talking to him. But everybody, thank you for everything. Appreciate you. And until next time, man, have a great rest of your week, and make sure you're supporting your indie comics. Take it easy, everybody.